January 22nd. It is 5:37. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Present.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilwoman Powell.
Present.
Councilwoman Julian.
I'm here.
Councilwoman Wilson. Vice Mayor Stevens.
Here.
Mayor Harris.
I'm present.
You have a quorum.
Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
God our Father, we thank you for your blessings. We thank you for all that you've done and all that you continue to do. It's in this moment, God, we pray for your unmerited favor to continue to reign upon this great city that we call Miami Gardens. Bless its residents, stakeholders, everyone that has something to do with this great city. Grant my colleagues and I your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding as we prepare to discuss your business that ultimately affect your people. All these many blessings we ask in your Son's name I do pray. Amen.
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 Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get you locked up.
Mr. Clerk, we're on approval of minutes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council, before you have the December 11, 2024 draft city council meeting minutes for your approval.
I need a motion on the minutes.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of adopting the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none. Show the minutes approved. We're on order of business.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Real quick, we'll just note for the record that Councilwoman Wilson is present. Also, we have two add-on items that were provided to the council earlier. We have add-on item number 1, which is supporting the Trayvon Martin Foundation Peace Walk, sponsored by Mayor Harris. Without objection, we ask that we add this to resolutions as item 13.2. The second add-on item is add-on item number 2, which is supporting the District 1 Spring Break Civil Rights Tour. This is sponsored by Vice Mayor Stevens. Without objection, we ask that it be added to the agenda as resolutions item 13.2. Point 3.
Point 3?
Yep.
All right. Resolution.
That's not consent?
I need a motion on that.
Motion. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any other items need to be pulled or deleted, added? Showing none, show the agenda passes.
Can we get a vote on that?
Need a vote on the agenda.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hey, no, it ain't.
All right, 7-0.
All right, we're on special presentations.
All right, we're on to special presentation, item 6.1, presentation by Citizens Independent Transportation Trust, and this is sponsored by Mayor Harris.
Is there someone from the Citizens Independent Trust? Have they made it here yet? No. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one then.
All right, the next item is item 6.2, special presentation to Alexandria FRASER Youth Track Star, sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris.
All right. Alexandra, can you and your mom come up, please? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Alexandria Fraser, one of our young superstars here in the city of Miami Gardens. And today I'm going to present her with a little token of our appreciation to celebrate her for her accomplishments. So on behalf of the 113,000 residents, the city of Miami Gardens commends Alexandria Fraser for her outstanding track and field achievement, which began in January 2021. And whereas Alexandria quickly rose to national promise, becoming an AAU national champion in the 400 meters, and by July 2021, and earning All-American status in both the 200 meters and 800 meters, her record-breaking 800-meter time of 2 minutes and 43 seconds set the stage for her continued success. And whereas in 2022, Alexandria continued to excel, securing national titles in both indoor and outdoor events, including a gold medal in the 800 meters at the AAU National and MVP Awards in multiple competitions. She also dominated at the Special Capital National Championships, winning 3 events in a single meet. And whereas in 2023, Alexandria earned All-American honors at the United States Track and Field Indoor Nationals and achieved triple gold in Puerto Rico. In 2024, she continued to shine with impressive wins at the Nike Indoor Nationals and national titles in the 800 meters at the AAU Nationals. And whereas her crowning achievements came at the 2024 AAU Junior Olympics, where she became the national champion in the 800 meters with a time of 2 minutes and 17 seconds, the fastest in her age group for the year. Alexandria also earns silver in the 400 meter and contributed to a relay gold medal. She has been consistently ranked #1 in both the 400 meters and 800 meters since 2021. And whereas beyond track and field, Alexandria excels academically, making the honor roll and actively participating in community activities such as the Girl Scouts, the youth choir at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church. With a bright future ahead, Alexandria's dedication and hard work promises continued success. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Rodney Harris of the City of Miami Gardens, along with my colleagues of the City Council, Vice Mayor Robert Stevens III, Katrina Baskins, Reginald Leon, Dr. Michelle Powell, Katrina Wilson, Linda Julian, do hereby celebrate Alexandria Fraser, and she's only 12 years old. Council, you guys want to come down and take a picture with us? Mr. Clerk, can we go back to 6.1?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, as the chair, you can. Item 6.1, presentation by Citizens Independent Transportation Trust. This is sponsored by Mayor Rodney Harris.
Full service here. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. Javier Betancourt, Executive Director of the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust. Just ran over from the parking garage, so if you don't mind me catching my breath. Is the PowerPoint? Sorry.
Do you need some water?
No, just air.
Okay.
That's on me.
I'm not in shape to be running like that, I'll tell you that right now. Thank you for your time. I know I don't have a lot of time and it's a lot of ground to cover, so I'm going to go right into it and do it very quickly. So I apologize if I run a little fast. Ask me to slow down if you need to. So a little over 20 years ago, many of you probably saw this on your referendum, on your ballot, when you went to vote. And I'd asked the voters in Miami-Dade County if you would charge yourselves another half penny, take that sales tax from 6.5% to 7%, to fund what they called the People's Transportation Plan, or PTP. That was a laundry list of projects that was promised to the community to help people move better. Because much like today, the community, even 20 years ago, was stuck in traffic congestion. Not much has changed. If you notice the last line in that referendum language, the voters also created the Citizens Independent Transportation Trust to oversee those half penny funds, to ensure that the county and the municipalities, which receive 20% of the funds, spend those funds appropriately and for their intended purpose. And that's the organization that I help to oversee. So our mission at the CITT, and we'll go right to the bottom here, is to monitor, audit, review, and investigate the use of funds, again, both by the county and by the city. So the CITT is really these 15 members. Actually, we have several vacancies, so I think we're at 13. And they're volunteers, volunteer members of the community, much like everyone in this room, who are there to make sure that those promises are made. Your representative, and you've always actually been very well represented on our trust, is currently Miguel Murphy, and I know he was going to try to be here. Miguel, are you here? There he is, sitting right up front. So Miguel is the representative for this district. Your former representative was actually our former chair, Oscar Brainen, and I know that the Brainen family is a very prominent family in this community, so Oscar, if you're watching, hello, and thank you for your service. We do have vacancies, not necessarily in this community, but we do have some out west and down south. If you know of anyone who would make a good member, please encourage them to apply. Just go to our website. You do have to be a resident of the district that you're appointed to. Those volunteers are then supported by a relatively small office by county standards. That's the office that I oversee, and we help to review requests for those funds. We help to do the auditing and the compliance, all on behalf of the CITT. One of our primary functions is to audit the county and the municipalities on a semi-regular basis. So we have audited this city several times, and any issues that have come up have been worked through, so your city is in full compliance and doing a great job with your share of those surtax funds. So great job, keep up the great work. So enough about us, let's talk about the money. A half penny may not seem like a lot, but it adds up. So over those 20 plus years, we've collected nearly $5 billion in those half penny funds, 2/3 of which has gone to Miami-Dade Transit, about 20% of which has gone to the cities, and that's distributed to the cities, by the way, on a pro rata basis. So larger cities with larger populations get more than smaller cities. Less than 10% has gone to public works for roadway projects, and less than 1% goes to our office for oversight. Here's the same information over the decades, kind of relatively the same information, but for this particular budget year. If you're interested in the numbers, we have a 40-year pro forma online that details in a lot of detail, every penny going in, every penny going out. And it's available at miamidade.gov/CITT. Over those 40 years, we have an $8 billion transit pro forma. And again, that may sound like a lot, but we need a lot more than that to actually accomplish everything we want to do. So where are the funds going? Where have they gone? And what's proposed for the future? A lot of promises were made, as I said, to the voters 20-something years ago. Everyone remembers the extension of Metrorail, right? That was kind of the big sexy thing, and it still is. But there were a number of other things that were included, including fare-free transit for all seniors, what's become to be known as the Golden Passport, fare-free Metro Mover, bus service improvements, municipal improvements, major highway and roadway improvements. Again, there were over 40 highway projects that were promised from the very beginning. And finally, the expansion of Metro Rail to every corner of the county. So let's start with the municipal transit program. Again, 20% goes to the cities. And the cities, by and large, have done a great job in putting those funds to use, either through transportation improvements like traffic calming, road widenings, et cetera, or through transit service. So all of the cities at this point, practically all of them, are running either a fixed route circulator, much like you do here, Pure Express, or an on-demand transportation service. Most cities use a vendor called Freebie. Many cities are increasingly doing both, right? And connecting those services to the larger transit system. So as I said, the City of Miami Gardens is doing a great job with its funds, funding not just transportation, but also transit improvements. Here you see how much you get on an annual basis. It's about $7 million. And your ridership on the trolley is improving, 11.6% increase year over year. So as we get further away from the pandemic, those riders are coming back. And also you're doing a great job improving your service to attract additional riders. Most of the highway projects and roadway projects that were promised have been completed. As they are completed, we're not allowing the county to add more because we want the focus to be on transit. And the reason for that is, well, I'll get into that in a second. Also, advanced traffic management systems, we're paying for smart signals so that you get through those traffic signals faster using smart technology that adapts to traffic conditions. But really our focus is transit. The county did implement many transit projects. We completely replaced the Metro Rail, Metro Bus, and Metro Mover fleets. We've built a lot of parking rides. We invested in Tri-Rail and in Brightline. And we did expand Metro Rail once to the airport. So that is the one expansion in Metro that has taken place. But many more projects were promised, as you recall, a particular one called the North Corridor that I know you're fond of. And so the county has not given up on this. They are pursuing now what they call the SMART plan, which is those same corridors that were promised 20 years ago. And they're all in one state of development or another. And there are 6 corridors: South, Beach, East-West, Kendall, Northeast, and of course, the North Corridor. The South Corridor, if you've ever been down south, is actively under construction. This is going to be gold standard bus rapid transit. And if you could see it plugging along right there on South Dixie Highway, that is slated to open sometime later this year. We've heard July. Hopefully that's the case. The Beach Corridor's kind of gone back and forth. It was going to be monorail, and now it's slated to be Metro Mover. That's still in planning and development. The East-West Corridor at one point was going to be bus rapid transit on State Road 836. County's taken a step back and is exploring other alternatives, either commuter rail on the CSX lines or Metro Mover on Flagler Street, or perhaps also bus rapid transit. So that's in a state of flux. Kendall Corridor has kind of been postponed. They're waiting for some demonstration projects to kind of guide the way there. The Northeast Corridor, this is the one I'm most optimistic about happening next because all the funding has aligned. We've committed local half-penny funds, the state has committed funds, and the Biden administration, before leaving a couple days ago, committed over $400 million for this project. So all the funding's there, all the parties are negotiating the terms, so hopefully this will happen. And what this will do is provide like a tri-rail, commuter rail type service on the Brightline tracks. Because Brightline is great, but it's not affordable for your everyday worker. We need something more like tri-rail that's, $2.50 that people can use on a regular basis to get to work. And unlike Brightline, this will have multiple stations throughout that corridor, right? So North Miami, Little Haiti, Wynwood, et cetera. The North Corridor. I know this is the one that this community probably cares the most about. This one is slated to be elevated Metro Rail. It's the only one of the remaining corridors that's slated to be Metro Rail. It is being actively planned and developed by the Florida Department of Transportation because 27th Avenue is a state highway. Unfortunately, because it's Metro Rail, it's going to be by far the most expensive. And all those funding pieces are not in place. So the hope is that we can match our local funds with state funds, and a large percentage of this is going to have to be federal funds. They're planning on 60% federal participation. And right now, there is no federal commitment. But FDOT is conducting its studies. It's pushing the project forward in the hopes that we will have a grant request to the federal government that they will approve. Park and ride facilities, we've invested in those throughout the county. We need more funding. We need to look under every rock. to make all of this happen. We're also looking at first last mile solutions, connecting those train stations or those transit stations to the communities through bicycle pedestrian improvements, your municipal circulators, et cetera. We need to improve the customer experience, make sure that it's well maintained, that it's clean, that it's performing as expected. We need to make sure that the city systems and the county systems are all connecting to each other physically and via technology on the same app. And finally, community engagement. I'm committed to presenting before groups like yours to share the story. People deserve to know what's happened with their half penny. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but we're out here to provide the facts. We did launch an ambassador program. We want the people who ride the system to let us know what's happening on the system, to be our eyes and ears. So if you're interested in being an ambassador, you're a regular transit rider, sign up to be an ambassador. You get points every time you submit feedback, and you can exchange those points for rewards, for free transit passes, for free Uber rides, et cetera. It's a great program. Visit our website for more. And finally, I launched a podcast a couple years ago where we talk about transportation, all these projects that are happening with members of the community, with officials such as yourselves. So I would love to have you on the podcast anytime you like. Just let me know, and we'll have you on. That was a lot in a very short period of time, so I apologize for speaking so fast, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
I'm sure we'll have additional questions, but we'll reach out to you and get those questions answered.
Will do. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Much appreciated.
All right, we're now on to item 6.3, employee quarter presentation sponsored by the city manager.
Mr. Manager?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. I'm going to have Evening come up to do the presentation. Thank you, Evening.
No problem. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Evening Musalera, the Learning and Development Administrator here at the City of Miami Gardens. In October of 2021, the city launched an employee recognition program, the All-Star Award, to publicly acknowledge employees and individuals who go above and beyond their duties. And based on nominations received internally, an individual is identified to receive the award on a quarterly basis. This quarter All-Star Award recipient is Ms. Claudia Salvador of the City of Miami Gardens Capital Improvement Department. I'd like to invite Ms. Salvador to the front, Mayor, Council, City Manager Benson, and her Director, Laura, to receive her award. Thank you.
All right, we're on public comments. Mr. Clerk, can you please read the public comment card back of the...
Sure, Mr. Mayor. Citizen participation is governed by Section 2-60 of the City of Miami Gardens Code. Public comments are limited to matters within the scope of jurisdiction of the City Council. Each person other than members of the city staff who address the City Council shall give their name, address, and whether the person is speaking on his or her own behalf, a group of persons, or a third party. When in the determination of presiding officer, there are many persons wishing to speak on the same proposition, the presiding officer may direct these persons to designate a representative to address the City Council rather than all members of such groups. All speakers shall be limited to 2 minutes unless further time is given by the presiding officer. All remarks shall be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any one member. No person other than the City Council members and persons having the floor shall be permitted to enter any discussion without the permission of the presiding officers. No question shall be asked of a City Council member except through the presiding officer. Order shall be maintained if any person makes personally irrelevant, pertinent, or slanderous remarks, becomes boisterous while addressing the City Council, or becomes too lengthy, abusive, obscene, and/or disruptive, or otherwise fails to comply with the orders of the presiding officer and is declared out of order, the individual may be removed by the subject of at arms.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. And remember, guys, when you hear that noise, all right, when you hear that, your 2 minutes is up, okay? So, Mr. Clerk, you have any written communication?
No written communication, Mayor and Council.
All right, I have a few public comment cards. The first person up will be Maria, I hope I say it right, Busius. And after her will be Ms. Gail Cunningham.
Good evening, all. I
need you to state your name and not your name, you don't need your name, but your address for the record, please.
Okay, 19904 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Miami Gardens. Good evening, all. I'm the owner of the Stadium Diner. We have a problem. We have a huge parking lot, and in the mornings from approximately 5:30 to 8, people cut through the parking lot and at full speed, and we should avoid that happening because we've had several people that have actually been hit and hurt. But apart from that, we have school children actually walking to school with their headphones on. They don't know what's going on, and by mistake, their knapsacks on their back get hit. So I'm here to request that something should happen so we can avoid any accident, especially with the children. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And after Ms. Cunningham, it'll be Mr. Tisdall.
Good evening, public servants, publicly elected officials, and the audience here in the chambers. My name is Gail Cunningham, 19001 Northwest 14th Avenue Road, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33169. On December 11th, here in the chambers, one of our charter members was asked to, and I paraphrase, research and provide findings, reference ballot language, voting process for elections. And I would like to know if that charter member has had an opportunity to get an answer to that request, and if so, being that it was asked in the public, will the answer be given in the public? And if so, can it be done tonight? And I appreciate it. Also, being mentioned in the clock, we're sitting here in the audience, we can't see the clock. The dais can see the clock. All we hear is a sound. So we may be coming up on our last 30 seconds. We have no clue. If we know that we have the last 30 seconds, we'll know how to surmise our comment and stop. So I'm requesting that you do take into consideration that we want to see exactly how much time we have, just as you already see it. Right now it says 6:07. I don't know if I have 30 seconds left or what, but I need to see a clock, and it could be placed right there or somewhere here on the dais. Also, I'd like to say that the Myrtle Grove Park renovation project is still, we're waiting, and I would like to know or have an idea if any one of you on the dais, which you do have the right, can actually make the motion so that we can move forward with a multi-purpose gymnasium that the community of Myrtle Grove has agreed upon that they want in their community. So I would like to know, because there's 7 of you there, who would be willing to move it
10 more
forward.
seconds.
And the last thing I would like to say is...
You're down to 5.
Okay, telling me down. Okay, all right. Last thing I would like to say...
There it is.
Oh, see, you knew. I didn't know. One more thing.
Thank you.
Honorable Mayor, may I just say one more thing? You said at our last meeting that 25% of the actual parks were done. I would like to change that to, you said 25% was still waiting, 75% was done. I would hope to change that to 80 or 85% by making Myrtle Grove a part of the ones that were done. Thank you so much. Looking for the clock. Thank you.
Ms. Hughes, you're next.
Mayman Tisdall, 17031 Northwest 11th Avenue, Miami Garden, Florida. Mayor Harris, me and you had a little meeting last week. It didn't go good. You said what you had to say. I said what I had to say. I told you about the $4,660 that need to be put back in the CBA.
Excuse me, Mr. Tisdale.
What?
The clerk just read the card. You're not supposed to identify any member of this council.
Okay.
You can make your comment, but you're not supposed to single anyone out.
Okay. All right. We had a meeting last week, and it wasn't productive. And the money need to be returned back to the CBA account, the $4,660. When we go outside and talk in the back, nobody know the results of what we're talking about. It need to be made public of what we're talking about. You say y'all got a lot of kids that go down to Liberty City that live in Miami Garden. 500 of them can go down there. But you still can't misuse public funds for recreational purpose. This is what I'm trying to get y'all to see. But nobody not listening. I'm going to keep talking about this until the money is returned to the CBA account, because it's not right. Y'all, you told me y'all helped New Orleans out. New Orleans is in the circle. Not Northwestern, not Central, not Edison, not Jackson, not Booker T. That's for the city of Miami and Miami-Dade County. We want to know about what's happening here. You got to keep this money in this circle. You can't take it out of this circle. Like I said, it need to be returned. I don't know when y'all going to post the money when returned or whatever, but I'm trying to give y'all the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, before I go to the board members downtown, because it's not fair.
Got 10 seconds.
I got 10 seconds?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah? All right, I'm going to end that with that.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council.
Good
Reed
evening.
Hughes, 3335 Northwest 180th Street, Miami Gardens, Florida, 33056. Whereas the residents of Myrtle Grove have been very instrumental in following the progress of the traffic light project on 180th Terrace and 27th Avenue since 2022. We bring to our public elected officials, public servants, an update of this project received today from the STI Company, Signal Technology Incorporated, North Dade Maintenance Department, and Florida Department of Transportation. Good afternoon. The concrete sidewalk restoration effort was completed yesterday, and today we are completing aprons which are outside of the sidewalk. After the concrete work is done, STI plans to install the pedestrian signal pedestal assemblies and pedestrian detector buttons, which is expected by this Friday, January 24th, 2025. We will have a technician on site Monday, January 27th, to complete the installation and the turn signals on the light. Of course, this is a traffic light on 180th and 180th Terrace and 27th Avenue by Snappers, the entrance. And I just want to say, Myrtle Grove community have been really addressing this and on top of this and speaking with the departments of these companies, the contractor. So I'm just making everyone be aware, be careful, and be safe, because it is going to be happening next week. Thank you. Just an update. Thank you.
Ms. Hughes. Christine Malcolm, and then Ms. Linda Pearl Fizami.
Christine Malcolm, 18910 Northwest 31st Avenue, Miami Gardens, 33056. Item 12.5, there's a request to take funds from the Science Fair account and move them to an account for a youth music festival. And my question is why? Science and music and arts is important in the education of students, but taking money from one account to fund another just doesn't seem right to me. So have the funds in the science account, fair account, not been used? Is it a debt account? Could you explain the reason for this request? And if the account is active, and will the funds that are requested to be taken out be replaced for the students who participate in science fairs? I'd also like to take a moment to say thank you to Mr. Buxton for listening to my concerns regarding the trolley and the lack of notification to the drivers for people who are disabled. And there was a lady who does not speak, does not hear, and she was unable to communicate with the driver, so I let Mr. Buxton know about that, and he fixed it, so now there is a bell on the D route trolley. And I would just also like to say, please vote yes on item 11.1, recognize and preserve history in the city for Bessie B. Stringfield. Thank you.
Thank you. And then after Ms. Fizami, it'll be Ms. Coley.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. It's my first time here. My name is Linda Pearl Fizame. I'm a proud member of Miami Gardens, 15420 Northwest 28th Court, Haitian American. I've been gone for 20 years. I just got back to the city a year and a half ago. I hope I can take the time to tell you what I've done in the 20 years since I've been gone. I attended Florida State. I have 2 minutes? Yes, sir. I attended Florida State University. I also was selected after graduating as an Ebony Fashion Fair model. Ebony Fashion Fair was created in 1959 for models of color that could not get into mainstream. I was able to travel to over 220 cities representing Miami, as well as our Haitian lineage as a Ebony model. I've been published in Ebony as well as Jet. Shortly after that, I completed an MBA at Clark Atlanta University and was hired as a professor to teach leadership and professional development for 6 years. Shortly after that, I started an academy called A Lady Named Pearl Modeling and Leadership Academy. I've been featured on TEDx as an innovator in the space of modeling. But where my concern is today is that I've reached out to several council members in terms of wanting to start a program here, because I am a girl that has come from this community, and I want to be able to impact young girls and women with what I've gained with modeling, being able to walk in a room and own it, entrepreneurship, being able to start your business from your natural gifts and talents. But I haven't heard anything back. I've reached out several times to council members trying to figure out how to get this done. So I'm here today. How much time do I have? 18 seconds.
Yeah, 18 seconds.
I'm here today to see how can I get help, what direction I can get. And I'm also doing a Black History Month event on February 21st at the Miami-Dade Library, where we're talking about Black history as well as celebrating fashion, culture, and history. Thank you.
Thank you.
My address is 1885 Northeast 121st Street, North Miami, Florida 33181. I'm here on behalf of the Sunshine Dimes. First, I'm going to read my letter. And can I ask all the representatives from the motorcycle community and people who are supporting the street naming to please stand? Dear honorable members of the City of Miami Gardens City Council, I'm here on behalf of the Sunshine Dimes. We are a local nonprofit organization. Our full name is Sunshine Divas in Motion Excelling. Here to express our support for the co-designation of a street, Northwest 152nd Terrace, as Bessie Stringfield Way, or Boulevard, or Avenue,
This initiative is not just about naming the street. It's about preserving a rich and inspiring history, amplifying the voice of a community, and creating economic development and opportunities that honor our past while shaping our future. Bessie Stringfield, affectionately known as the Motorcycle Queen of Miami, was a trailblazing African-American motorcyclist, some say she was Jamaican, whose courage and achievements continue to inspire countless of individuals. Since 2016, over 700 women annually ride through into the city of Miami Gardens to go to her house to honor her. This annual tradition underscores the enduring legacy of her contributions to American culture, empowering women and communities. These rides continue to happen yearly in destinations around the country. The ladies who have rode 48 states in 10 days, please raise your hand. Any motorcycle rider that's ridden outside of Miami-Dade County, please raise your hand. Wave them so they can see it. The movie has been nominated for an Oscar. It's called My Self-Love, the Bessie Stringfield Story.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, can you show that her comments will be added to 13.2 as a public comment?
Duly noted. We'll show it reflected with that item.
Well, not 13.2, it's 11.1.
Yeah, the public hearing regarding the street renaming.
Yes.
Got you.
Are there any more public comments? Showing no more public comments are now closed. We're on reports of the mayor and council. Councilwoman Julian.
Thank you for recognizing me, Mayor. To our residents and business owners, thank you for taking the time to be here tonight. It is always an honor to witness the commitment and dedication of our residents to the growth and success of this community, our community. Your presence here is what drives us forward and reminds us of the importance of our work as public servants. I'd like to thank the residents of District 4 who came out to Councilwoman Wilson's Meet Me Monday Town Hall, where we discussed the school zone camera safety program, an ordinance that I sponsored to enhance safety for our children. More informative sessions are coming for our residents. With these cameras being implemented at schools throughout our city, drivers will be held accountable, making school zones safer for all. Our children deserve to arrive at school safely, and I'm proud of the steps that we are taking to ensure that that happens. Additionally, I want to remind the residents to stay informed about the Golden Glades Interchange project. This capital project will improve regional mobility, reduce travel times, and enhance connectivity to our community and for our community. Please note the closures and detours that are scheduled for the week of January 24th, which are necessary to continue the ongoing construction. Finally, I encourage all of you to sign up for Linda's Local Loop, my monthly newsletter designed to keep you in the loop about opportunities, updates, and events happening across Miami Gardens. The January edition was issued on Monday evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This ends my report, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilwoman Baskins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening to residents and visitors. I want to remind you all of my community collaboration meeting, which will take place on February 11th at 6 p.m. at Buccaneer Park. All are welcome to attend, and as I always say, it's an opportunity to come out to ask questions, share your concerns, and hear specific details from our department heads. So that is February 11th, 6 p.m. at Buccaneer Park. Also on February 21st, I want to share with you all again about Broadway in the Gardens. Broadway in the Gardens is an inaugural event which will debut my Save the Arts initiative. This is formulated to increase awareness and build appreciation for the arts in the Miami Gardens community. In light of the recent statewide $32 million budget cuts to performing arts programs, I felt this initiative was very necessary to continue to engage our talented and gifted students and show them support, as well as provide avenues for learning and promotion and to their craft during these trying times. So this program is a 2-day event. On February 20th, right at Florida Memorial University, we will have a masterclass workshop for students that participate in art, dance, and song. So this is for our Miami-Dade County Public School students. They have to apply to attend because I only have 60 spots available. And then on day 2, patrons will be treated to an ensemble of talent with dance routines from the Peter London Global Dance Company, opera sounds from Angel Refusé, who is a local African-American opera singer, and spoken word from a phenomenal spoken word artist, Mr. Marlin. This event will take place during Black History Month, so I wanted to take the opportunity to highlight the African American experience, and that's what you will see on that day: the joys, the sorrows, the triumphs, the fights, and the overall progression of our people. So I encourage you all to purchase your tickets. You can go on Eventbrite, search Broadway in the Gardens. And since it is taking place during Black History Month, I encourage you all to come adorned in your African American attire. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Wilson.
Hello, everyone. Just to recap before I begin, we had the opportunity to attend the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence Scholarship Breakfast this past weekend. And as usual, Miami Gardens was very well represented there. And not only as attendees, as electeds, but our community turned out. And we have fine young men who are part of the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence from our high schools and our middle schools and our elementary schools. And I believe we may have 1 or 2 right here today who are interns serving right here in the city. If you are a 5,000 role model, will you please stand? Okay. The 5,000 Role Models does this, and that is, it's a small hand touching, a large hand touching a smaller hand. And that is men who are touching the lives of the young kids to save them, to get them off the street, to have opportunities, to be interactive with men. And I want to just say really quickly that the 2 council members, along with our mayor, that sit here, have given so much of their time and effort and resources to support the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence project. I mean, Christmas, they took them on bowling. They used their money, their time to take hundreds of boys out to places that they ordinarily wouldn't do. And so I think I get a little choked up here because when I listen to Deion Sanders talk about the role and the importance of a man in a boy's life, and when I see these gentlemen not only give public service to their community, but when they really give their time and their effort and their talent to the young boys, whether it's the football games, whether they are hosting them, whether they're going to the school, reading to them, it's very, 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 very important. It makes a difference in the homes. So I wanted to say thank you, especially to the men who are the role models to the upcoming men. And hats off to Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who has dedicated the lion's share of her life to the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence. We attended the Martin Luther King Parade, this council, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time. It's always good to see the community, and more importantly, it's always good to be a part of it. Again, residents all the way from the northern end was down in Liberty City, being a part of celebrating what man that fought for freedom. And now more than ever, we have to remind ourselves that our country is a democracy and that we are people who fall under that democracy. So it was absolutely wonderful to be a part of that with my colleagues, as we also were announcing and promoting Jazz in the Gardens for the 2025 year. The Voices of Freedom Talent Audition and Showcase will be held in February. The announcement is coming out February 8th. And what we are doing is that we are now auditioning the community for a role on Juneteenth. And last year was the first year that almost every act that we brought to the stage We're representative of our children, representative of our seniors, representative of our high school students who performed on Juneteenth. And once again, Juneteenth is, our tagline here is that America keeps its promise of freedom for all, not just for some. And so it reminds us just how much of the people in Galveston, once they realized that they were free, chose not to leave Galveston, but chose to stay and to celebrate and to acknowledge their newfound freedom. And we here in Miami Gardens do the same thing. And for the 5th year, we will be acknowledging, we will be celebrating, we will be loving each other and appreciating each other on Juneteenth. And we look forward to each one of you, as you have done over the last 5 years, to come out and enjoy. Bring your families, bring your children, bring your friends. It is a totally free event, but it is a time, just like on the 4th of July, that we recognize that we live in a country that gives us all and affords us all freedom. On Meet Me Monday, which will be January 10th at the Walt Frazier Park at Carroll City, we will be doing our usual conversations with code enforcement, law enforcement, and dealing with any concerns that the residents may have. But we will also have a special Black History presentation for you. So I look forward to seeing you all. And this concludes my announcements. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Powell.
Good evening, everyone. Everybody awake? All right, just checking. Well, we really had a great time at the 5,000 role models in recognizing the youth, and I won't go any more into that. It's just phenomenal. And if there's anyone who would like to mentor a young man, please participate, just as Councilwoman Wilson has beseeched you. But I would like to also invite our seniors, because on February 8th, we're going to be hosting a Senior Shred Day. Why are we having this? It's very important to safeguard your documents, and many of our seniors, in fact, many of us are hoarders, right? Let's admit it. Let's admit it. We're holding on to a lot of paper, but especially for safety and security, we want to get rid of those documents. So on February 28th from 9 to 12 at the Bunch Park, we will have the facility available for our seniors, as well as presented along with our police department. We'll have representative talking at our breakfast, discussing safety and security with your identity. Very important. Please attend. And please also save the date for February 26th, which at 1 o'clock, which I did today, as well as every 4th Wednesday, I will be hosting the Healthy You Conversation. Today we talked about weight loss, and I hope everyone's still on their weight loss journey for the new year. If not, please tagging and take a look at our YouTube or on our channel. If you missed some of those tips, we had Dr. Marshall come in to talk about all the injectable drugs, and next month is Cardiovascular and Heart Health Month. So we will be talking about heart health on our Talk Healthy You on Wednesday, February 26th. But join me on the 25th at Rolling Oaks for the resident community, Dr. Walk and Talk. We're going to do more talking, okay? So if you're afraid of walking, please come on out. We're going to be discussing any issues going on in the Residency 3. So please, I welcome you to join me at the Rolling Oaks. And finally, it has gone out already. If you have not turned in your response to the Residents' Choice Award, which is the award for best businesses in Miami Gardens, please turn in your selection. And if you have a business that you really frequent, or you own a business, encourage people who think your food is great or your business is awesome, encourage them to participate in choosing you, because there is an award and a $500 growth certificate that will be given for individuals and companies who are serving our community and being a demonstration to what excellence is in business in our community. And of course, I can't leave today without giving the health tip of the day. And the health tip I want to take you into February is, your health is too important for you to wait for a coach. Be your own coach. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Leon?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to thank my male colleagues. Last night, we had a very serious meeting in the city of Miami Gardens with the Circle of Brotherhood. There were over 100 men, and this was a men's-only meeting. And we were able to have conversations on issues that's going on throughout this community. And, you know, absence of some fathers within some homes, being able to provide direction. I sit on the board, and for the rest of the week, I'll be in Tallahassee representing. I sit on the board for the Florida Status of Social Men and Black Boys that was signed into law by Senator Marco Rubio and Congresswoman Frederica Wilson. So dealing with this issue is a very critical issue, and you guys actually came out and helped get down to the root cause of some of the issues that we're having. This issue is so serious that the U.S. Commission, the Social Status of Black Men and Boys, which is now housed in the Department of Justice in the Civil Rights Office, was actually signed into law just for black men and boys in 2018 by then President Trump by way of Congresswoman Wilson. So having these conversations, being able to reach out to the 5,000 role models, being able to go see our high school kids, our young kids, to help them develop these different, to help them develop and cultivate ideas to where we can help our men continue to thrive and survive throughout this country is a very big deal. And I also want to just clear up some, bring some straightening to one of the comments that was made earlier. This council is allowed to, if the mayor brings an item, whether it's in the city or out of the city, and the item comes to council and it passes unanimously, we can use those dollars throughout Miami-Dade County. Our kids go to school not only in Miami Gardens, but our kids go to almost every single school in Dade County. You'll find kids throughout this community that are being bused in different magnet programs. So if this council decides to support an item with funds supporting a school outside of the city, that is not illegal. We work too hard for people to come here and spread misinformation. And I just wanted to get that cleared up, and that ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Vice Mayor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to add on to Councilman Leon very quickly. The school district, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, has something in place called My School, My Choice,
Right.
which means you can go to school outside of your city limits and outside of the district. So just wanted to emphasize what My School, My Choice is. Miami Gardens Fitness Challenge is underway. I encourage everyone to continue to come out and participate for the fitness challenge. The featured fitness classes are free, and they all take place at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Complex on Monday through Thursday, and on Saturdays for everyone to participate. That will go on until February 22nd. On Saturday, February 11th, I partnered with State Representative Felicia Robinson in Advancing Sickle Cell Advocacy Project to present a faith brunch for sickle cell, where we raised awareness about sickle cell while enjoying great food, fellowship, and special performances. A kudos to Florida Memorial University chorale that participated on their, is it the gospel choir? What is it called? The Ambassador Chorale. They did an amazing job, and kudos to the wonderful students there. Florida Memorial University, the only HBCU in South Florida that
Very
just
good.
so happened to be in the city of Miami Gardens.
Excellent, in residential C4.
And Councilman Leon is on the board of trustees, and Councilwoman Wilson is an alum. All right, did I get everyone?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
move. Last week, we concluded a successful edition of our Next Gen Coding program. Please make sure you contact our Department of Education and Development, Mr. Sherman Gint, to get more information as it relates to the next session and the next rollout of this program. On yesterday, Mayor Harris and I held a City of Miami Gardens Economic Improvement Summit with local businesses and stakeholders to network and improve the economic development of our city. The economic development of our city. A huge thank you to Mr. George Wright. Where are you, George? Stand up. Kudos to Mr. George Wright for your leadership in facilitating a great initiative. You did a great. Did you stand up or you sat down real fast? There you go. Kudos, great job, great job, great job. On next month, on February 1st, I'll be partnering with Representative Robinson to host a pop-up DMV event at the Buccaneer Park beginning at 9:30 a.m. Space is limited, so make sure you register for this event. You'll be able to change from out-of-state driver's license to Florida state licensing, renewal and reinstatements, duplicate of lost or stolen licenses, address or name change, ID cards, emergency contact information. All of those things would take place at the Buccaneer Park on February 1 at 9:30 a.m. And on February 4th at 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Betty T. Ferguson Recreational Complex, I'll host outside City Hall office hours. No appointment is needed. You can come in and sit with me on a one-on-one basis and discuss anything that you may have to address as it relates to the city. And then following that at 6:30, I'll have my roundtable table talk discussion at the Starbucks on that same day, February 4th at 6:30. So if you can't meet me for office hours between 4 and 6, you can meet me for a roundtable discussion, Table Talk Tuesday on February 4th, 6:30 p.m. at our local Starbucks. Mr. Mayor, that ends my report.
Good report. Good report.
Under 5 minutes.
Good report. Under 5 minutes. Listen, let me just say, we have committed to ensuring that the lives of children in our community is not forgotten, and that we will do everything in our power to assist our kids, our residents, our elderly, that we possibly can. 2 weeks ago, I took about 30 kids camping out in the Everglades. George Wright, stand up again. George Wright is one of the young men that I had the fortunate, how would I say, to mentor that young man, raise that kid. And now he's here working in the city of Miami Gardens doing a tremendous job. There's several other young men that we've reached out to and worked with and worked and mentored to ensure that they will have productive lives, not only in this community, but whatever community they live in.
That's right.
We will continue to put forth our maximum effort to ensure that our future is bright. The young lady that we serviced tonight gave a certificate to tonight. She is one of our bright kids, not just here in Miami Gardens, but throughout this country.
Right.
Our kids are well known.
Yes.
So we continue to fight, and we will continue to fight for those children. And we'll do everything in our power to ensure that they have an opportunity to blossom, grow, and be great citizens.
Right.
That being said, I'm done with my report. Where are we now?
All right, Mr. Mayor, Council, there are no ordinances on first reading, no ordinances on for second reading, public hearing. We're now on item 11, resolutions, public hearing. Item 11.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving an application submitted by Sunshine Divas in Motion Excelling, Inc., attached to as Exhibit A for the code designation of Northwest 152nd Terrace from Northwest 22nd Avenue to Northwest 27th Avenue as Bessie Stringfield Way, directing the city manager to change the street signage upon payment of fees by the applicant, providing for adoption representation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Councilwoman Michelle C. Powell.
All right, and this also is a public comment. We heard public comments already in reference to this item.
Councilwoman Powell?
Yes, thank you. To me, as we enter a new year of 2025 and the changes that have happened, in our government. And as we usher in February coming with Black History Month, it is more than righteous for us to recognize the contributions, the first-time contributions, the outstanding contributions of people of African descent. And today, I beseech my council members to support the outstanding work of Bessie Stringer. Consider yourself, World War II, a Black female on a bike in the Deep South, in Europe. Consider yourself what it's like, what it was like, but you rode anyway. A movie probably will never do justice. An award will never do justice for the trail that this woman has blazed, that tells young women, Black women, all women, that it's okay to get on a bike and ride. So I beseech my council to pass and support this historical movement for this naming of this street, for one of ours from Miami Gardens, who is nationally and internationally known. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move the item.
Second.
Item been moved and seconded. Mr. Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Councilwoman Baskin?
Yes.
Councilman Leon?
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stevens?
Yes.
Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. We're now on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Clerk, I'm going to take the consent agenda in its entirety. Need a motion on the consent
Motion.
agenda?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Nay.
Showing none. Show the consent agenda pass.
Mayor, may I beseech you to allow the people who've come for the street naming to have the opportunity to.
Can we do it after
Sure.
council
Yes,
meeting?
thank you.
All right, thank you.
You guys gotta wait.
All right, we're now on to resolutions. Item 13.1, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, approving the strategic plan developed by Kimberly Horn, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached here to serve as a guiding framework for the City of Miami Gardens to achieve its long-term goals and objectives, providing for adoption reputation, providing for an effective date. And this is sponsored by Councilwoman Wilson and the City Manager, co-sponsored by the City Manager.
Mr. Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, I'll yield to Councilwoman Wilson for any comments.
I would like to take this opportunity to ask Kimberly Horn and partners to stand. And I would like to publicly thank you for your efforts, your hard work in leading us through this strategic planning process. Your professionalism, your commitment to the higher, I'm going to say the higher level of work, quality professionalism from top to bottom that you have given to our residents and how you have served this council has not gone unnoticed and is duly noted. We appreciate you and we value the work that you have given back to us. Earlier at our workshop, I called the strategic plan our Yellow Brick Road, and you were the folks that really charted our direction. And we're excited about what that strategic plan holds for us. So I would like to thank also our city manager for your efforts, and the team. Is Tamara here?
Sit over there now.
And thank you, ma'am, once again for everything that you've done to execute this project. Okay? And can I make motion? You can make a motion, ma'am? I make a motion that we accept this.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any Discussion from the dais.
I just want to say that this strategic plan was very well planned and put together and thought out, and I'm happy at the direction that you provided, Councilwoman Wilson. You were very passionate about the strategic plan, because at one point in time, I was like, if we don't get the strategic plan. And so it's been months in the making. The consultants delivered. They spoke to everyone. They included the community. They included, everything that we wanted in the strategic plan. And now we have the plan, and now it's time for us to work this plan. So thank you very much.
All right. And once the strategic plan is finalized, Mr. Manager, you want to say
Go ahead,
something?
Mayor. I just want to.
Once it's finalized, we'll be able to provide the public will be able to receive copies of the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank Tamara Wadley. She really took the lead on this and did a tremendous job. So, Tamara, congratulations on this strategic process, and I appreciate all your efforts. And thank you to the department heads that participated in it. And again, I want to recognize Councilwoman Wilson for your leadership in bringing this forward. It's something we definitely need and something that we definitely will accomplish over the next several years. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Item been moved and seconded. Call the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Councilwoman Powell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian?
Yes.
Vice Chair Stevens?
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin?
Yes.
Councilman Leon? Mayor Harris?
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 13.2, a resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the use of Walt Frazier Park and waive of all costs associated with law enforcement for the Trayvon Martin 13th Annual Peace Walk and Peace Talk event to be held on February 1, 2025, providing for adoption of reputation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Mayor Harris.
This is the 13th year that the Trayvon Martin Foundation has had a peace walk and peace talk, and we've been involved with all 13. This is the second year that it's coming back to the city of Miami Gardens, and I'm asking our colleagues to support it. I move this item.
Second.
Item been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any oppositions? Showing none, show the item pass.
All right, we're now on to item 13.3, resolution of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, authorizing the services of 3 Miami Gardens Police Department officers and paying associated staffing costs from the community benefit account in an amount not to exceed $50,274 in support of District 1 Spring Break Civil Rights Tour, provided for adoption representation, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by Vice Mayor Stevens.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. This item is in partnership with our District 1 Commissioner Oliver Gilbert annual spring break expedition tour that he does with local high school students. This year, well, this is our second year partnering as a city. This year, they would be taking a spring break expedition civil rights tour. And I am asking for the support of my colleagues as we partner to provide essential services to our students and residents of Miami Gardens as they travel to 3 different states to learn about the history to learn about the history. With that being said, I move the item.
Second.
Item has been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Showing none, show the item passes.
All right, we're now to 14 quasi-judicial zoning hearings and agenda disclosures.
Good evening and welcome to the quasi-judicial portion of the January 22nd, 2025 City Council meeting. For those persons that will or may be speaking on an item on the agenda or commenting on any item, please stand up and be sworn in by the city clerk. For any applicants, your item will be called to order by agenda number and the title of your request. When your item is called, please approach the microphone and when addressed, speak directly and clearly, stating your name and address for the record, and explain the reason for your request. Note that all exhibits presented to the mayor and the council will become a part of the public record.
All right, all interested parties, please stand and raise your right hand. You swear and affirm that the testimony you provide this evening is true and correct, to the best of your knowledge? All right, thank you. You may be seated. All right. There is no ordinances on for first reading and public hearing on 14.2. Ordinances on for second reading and public hearing or item 14.2.1. An ordinance of the City Council, City of Miami Gardens, Florida, amending the Code of Ordinances as outlined in Exhibit A, attached to amending the City of Miami Gardens Land Development Regulations, Article 1, General Provisions, Article 2, Administration, Article 5, Alcoholic Beverages, Article 6, Housing, Article 9, Generalized Schedule of Permitted Uses, Use Permitted with Extra Requirements, Special Exemption Uses, and Prohibited Uses. Article 10, Accessory Uses and Structures. Article 11, Development Standards, Generalized Table of Development Standards. Article 12, Off-Street Parking, Loading, and Vehicular Circulation Requirements. Article 13, Design Standards. Article 14, Minimum Landscape and Buffering Requirements, Fences, Walls, Hedges, Trees, Protections. Article 15, Plan Corridor Development District, PCD in paren, and Entertainment Overlay District, EO in paren. Article 19, Definitions and Rules of Construction, amending the city's zoning map to create a location for the Innovation Overlay, IO in paren, zoning district as attached in Exhibit B, providing for adoption, representation, repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing severability clause, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
All right, there's public comments on this item. Did you receive any kind of written communication, Mr. Clerk?
There are no written communications, Mayor.
I don't have any public comment cards at this time.
Mr. Mayor.
Public comments are now closed on this item.
I move the item.
All right, item been moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion from the dais on this item?
None.
Going no discussion. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Vice Mayor Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Baskin.
Yes.
Councilman Leon.
Yes.
Councilwoman Powell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Julian.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, may I?
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion regarding this item, if at all possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to direct the city manager within 30, minimally, maximum 45 days, to bring back to this council a report on the use of the old City Hall building that is located in this zoning district. Is that okay?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Vice Mayor, that's fine. I'd be more than happy to bring that back.
Thank you very much.
So that's your motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
To this item, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Nikisha Smith and Alexander Matos on this. Took them about 9 months to put this together, so normally something like this you would farm out, but we have capable people inside the city of Miami Gardens to do this type of work, so congratulations to those two young ladies.
Thank you.
All right, item passes. Mr. Clerk.
All right, there are no resolutions of public hearing. We're now on to the reports of the city manager, city attorney, city clerk.
Mr. Manager.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, I just have one item. I want to take this opportunity to thank the department heads, council member staff, members, staff, and EVNA for a tremendous work that we did. City clerk, city attorney, everyone that participated in the lead retreat. EVNA, where are you? Please stand. And congratulations, sir. She organized one heck of a retreat for us, so I appreciate that, EVNA. With that, Mayor, I conclude my reports. Thank you.
Madam Attorney.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Clerk.
No report.
All right. Are there any other issues that we need to address?
There are no more business before this council, Mayor.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Show this meeting adjourned.
Excuse me.